Hello everyone, hope you guys are doing well and studying well as well. So this is a main strategy session where we will be talking about the importance of the mains examination in helping you clear this CSE examination. Rather, I will say in a way reducing the uncertainty of this examination in determining whether you will find your name in the final list of the CSE examination in the top ranks. Okay, yes, of course. To write mains, you first should clear prelims examination. But see, prelims examination is as such. Even if you clear with the exact marks or 30 marks above the prelims cutoff, it doesn't make any difference. Either you clear the prelims or you don't clear the prelims. So unless and of course until you are targeting Indian Forest Services as well. But whatever the cohort of aspirants are there are no specific aspirants of forest services, or if there are, they are very few. Most of the aspirants, rather all of the aspirants of Indian Forest Services are also the aspirants of CSE. Yes, there can be some outliers, but what we are trying to intend to convey that the importance of mains is very vital in determining whether you will be clearing the CSE examination or not. Just mains, that is the leverage of mains, that is how many marks are you above the mains cutoff. Okay, and this will also reduce the uncertainty of the personality test. See, personality tests, no one knows exactly what works and what does not. It's kind of a black box, but we know for sure what works in the mains examination and why you should target mains in such a manner that there is a sure guarantee of you clearing the CSE examination with your preferred services. See, for instance, say this is the mains cutoff of 700 marks. 700 marks is the mains cutoff. People will write the mains examination, then there will be some cutoff. Suppose hypothetically it's 700, and the final cutoff is 900. Yes, why 900? See, more or less the gap between the mains cutoff and the final cutoff is 200 marks, more or less. Okay, so range, if we look at the range, it's most likely between 190 to 220. This is the gap between the mains cutoff and the final cutoff. So we are taking a mean of 200 marks. So that means if you have cleared the mains cutoff with 700 marks, that is exact marks you have got, and you get an interview call. So you need to get minimum 200 marks to be there in the final list. That is, if you get minimum 200 marks with 700 marks of your mains, you will find your name in the list, that is the lowest service, most likely a group B service. So this is gap of 200 which you have to fill to get into the list. Okay, so this is a 200 marks are very good marks in the interview. Likely very few people get if you take the entire cohort of people appearing for the mains examination. Anyways, but if we go above and above this mains cutoff, the role of interview in your determining your qualification for the examination reduces substantially. Suppose you are 50 above the cutoff. If you are 50 above the cutoff, you need how much to get into the list? You need only 150 marks to get into the list. Okay, not the top services. Then subsequently, if you are if the person is 100 marks above the cutoff, that person needs only 100 marks to get into the list. Normally people do not get such less marks in the interview, that is 100. More or less people get even average, so they'll get 150 marks. So he will be 50 marks above the mains cutoff. So some good service a person can get. Suppose if it's 150 marks above the cutoff, need only 50 marks to get into list. But yes, as said earlier, this much less marks people don't get. So more or less this person will get a good service. But with this also, with this much, you get 200 in the interview, then you will be in the top ranks. That is for sure, top 20 to top 10 depending on the relative competition. So what we are trying to say, this above this line, how much you are, the proportionally the uncertainty of clearing this examination reduces substantially. The higher you are above the cutoff, the role of the personality test becomes substantially reduced. Okay, 150 above the cutoff. What role personality test has? Only 50 mark role it has, more or less. In many cases, people have got so many marks. Even interview, they if we get bare minimum marks, then still they will be in the top ranks. I will give you one illustration example of this also. Without interview also, people can get very good marks, very good rank, provided they have very good marks in the mains. So now how to get this much marks? Yes, challenging, very much challenging, but with right strategy and hard work, you can get this much above the mains cutoff as well. See, you go and check the check the result marks of the toppers of this year, that is CSE 2024, that is and even previous years. Go and check the top 20 ranks. See how much above they are above the cutoff they are. Most of them would be 100, 75, 150, even 150 marks above the cutoff. So they would have been in the list, irrespective of, even if they get very less score in the interview. That way one can reduce the uncertainty variable in clearing the CSE examination. Now this, how to get this? Right strategy for getting this much should be targeting some subject very precisely, and those subjects are, of course, your optional, paper 1, paper 2, GS4, and I will say essay also. See, essay is, I will say, just a minor more skill improvement. That is the skill improvement you need to write that essay, because you already have the content for essay from GS 1, 2, 3 and 4, and your optional also, and current affairs as well. There's just a flow of your thoughts, but these two are most crucial among all the subjects we have for the mains examination. Okay, optional and GS4 most crucial, because optional requires very in-depth study, in-depth understanding and writing. Optionals are challenging and play a very crucial role. And of course, ethics paper. See, ethics paper, many will find it interesting to read. Everyone reads and reads. Everyone keeps reading. But see the questions. Questions are have a anchoring around current affairs. And even if the questions are simple, like in CSE 2023, you should open up many dimensions and connect with the real life illustrations or examples or current affairs. Without that, one may not get the good marks to get this leverage above the mains cutoff. So that's why it is very much important you target this very holistically and precisely and initially of your prep. See, but this is the very right time to target this, especially people who are appearing for the CSE 2026. Especially, yes, of course, the people who have not cleared the CSE 20 prelims of CSE 2025. If you target this right now, you will be in a good position for CSE 2026, mains of CSE 2026, and in a way you will have a head start for the mains examination before the prelims examination, before you start the preparation for the prelims examination. And also, it's very implicitly and very in a way, in the hindsight also, preparing for mains holistically before prelims will help you also clear the prelims examination, as learning is a continuous process. Okay, now yes, we are talking about this cutoff, etc., and this illustration examples have been existed since long time. Okay, I will give you one example also where this was brought to light, that how scoring well in the mains examination help reduce the uncertainty of clearing the examination. See, this is a book written by the former finance secretary. Initially this was released. He was all India rank 5th. See what he says. I had secured, 4th, he was all India rank 4. I had secured the 4th position in the country. I was indeed happy. Later on receiving the mark sheet, I discovered that in the interview I had secured only 120 marks out of 250 marks, lower than the average. My performance in the written examination, though turned out to be excellent, I secured the highest mark in both law and accountancy. While the final ranking in the civil service merit list is based on the total of written and interview marks, my marks in the written examination alone would have secured me 51st rank in the IAS that year. See what is he saying? He had secured an all India rank of 4. This is the former finance secretary. former finance secretary Subhash Chandra Garg. He is saying, I had secured all India rank 4 in the civil service examination, but he had one of the lowest marks in the interview. He had only 120 marks out of 250 marks. So despite having such a less mark, still he got all India rank 4. He further says, I had one of the highest marks in his optional accountancy and law. That time I guess 2 optional must have been there. So there he had the highest mark. And he further said, even without the score of interview, I would have been all India rank 51. Still I would have been all India rank 51 without the score of interview. All India rank 51 without the score of interview. See, this is the importance of mains examination. See, hopefully you are not in such a situation to get so much less marks. But if that is not your day, what you will do? That time mains will come to your rescue, your mains leverage. So for having surety to clear this examination, you should focus holistically on mains, target mains. Not that I am saying that ignore prelims in totality, but strategizing in such a way that you are mains ready, that will give you a head start for the mains examination before the prelims. So that way, hopefully this strategy was somewhat helpful for you. I hope this helps, and happy learning.